Tenemos contacto en este momento con el esposo de Luna, la colombiana que viaja en la flotilla con ayuda humanitaria para Gaza. Nos ha pedido que por razones de seguridad no revelemos su nombre. Lo saludamos a esta hora. Good morning. Thank you very much for being with us at this moment.
Thank you for having me on air.
Le vamos a preguntar por su esposa. ¿Quién es? ¿Por qué estaba ahí? We want to start after thanking you about your wife. Who is she? Why she was traveling to Gaza? What is her background? Can you tell us about her? Le preguntamos quién es su esposa, por qué iba a Gaza.
Okay. Laura Valentina, my wife, is an artist, and she's an activista for human rights, for environment, for a lot of things. And she has been an advocate for all human rights, for indigenous rights in Colombia as well, for a long time. And when we married, I'm a Palestinian refugee. When we married, I introduced her to Palestine. What is Palestine, and what is our struggle as Palestinian people, as occupied, colonized people? So we in the moment we married and we got together, she was able to know about our pain, our suffering, and this thing reconnected her with her roots in Colombia as a Colombian indigenous person. And as you may well know, everyone with a root, with their with this indigenous root, with their colonized root, they understand the suffering of all people. We're all connected, and that's what motivated and inspired Luna to go out and support 2 million people, more than 2 million people who are being genocided, slaughtered, and systematically starved to death in Gaza and Palestine. She decided to do that for humanity because she has, as the other people on the flotilla, they all have the same mission to support humanity because we are all one.
Bueno, él dice que Laura Valentina es una artista, una activista de derechos humanos, de medio ambiente, de los derechos indígenas en Colombia, que cuando ellos se casaron, él es un refugiado palestino y él empezó a hablarle de la causa palestina. Ella entendió nuestro dolor, dice, nuestro sufrimiento, y esto la reconectó con sus raíces como indígena. Todos estamos conectados y ella como indígena sabe lo que es la colonización hacia los indígenas. Eso la inspiró a salir, a apoyar a 2 millones de personas que están aguantando hambre, que están siendo masacradas. Ella lo que está haciendo es soportando la humanidad.
We understand her commitment with humanity, with mankind. I want to ask you, before she embarked, did you talk with her about the risks of this mission, the risks of embarking in this flotilla? Le he preguntado si antes de embarcarse ellos habían hablado sobre los riesgos, y ella había reflexionado sobre esos riesgos.
Of course, everyone who joins on humanitarian missions, they understand the dangers of going in such missions, especially when you are going against a huge tide in the world of injustice, of darkness and evil. When she decided to go on this journey, she decided to keep the faith in humanity, no matter the cost, no matter what, because without this, we will lose all. We will lose all of our humanity, our collective humanity. We will lose it. So she decided to do this mission, as well as I think others, they may have a similar idea or a goal why they did that, because they want to reclaim their humanity and keep their humanity and bring back the justice on this planet that has been long gone. That's what I believe Luna would have said if she was here now.
Ella es lo que dice, que por supuesto que ella entendía los riesgos. Todos los que van en misiones de este tipo, humanitarias, entienden los riesgos, y sobre todo cuando van contra la injusticia, la oscuridad y la maldad. Ella decidió mantener la fe en la humanidad sin importarle el costo. Sin esto perdemos esta humanidad colectiva, y ella decidió ir a esta misión con la misma idea de otros, porque mantener la humanidad y traer la justicia que se ha perdido es parte de esta misión.
De Laura Valentina. Estamos hablando con él por primera vez en la radio en Colombia, el marido de Laura Valentina, que es una de las dos mujeres que iba en la flotilla con apoyo humanitario para Gaza. María Molina, en Washington.
Esta es una flotilla absolutamente controversial. Mucha gente aplaude la misión, otras personas la rechazan, y le quiero preguntar a él ahora qué sigue. Es decir, han hablado con Israel, han recibido el apoyo de otros gobiernos. ¿Qué les ha dicho Israel? ¿En qué punto estamos? So this is a very controversial mission. Many people applauded, many people rejected, and I want to ask you, what's happening now? Have you received any news from the Israel government? Have you received any support from other governments? What's going on right now?
First of all, the lawyers, they are still waiting to go into the prison where all the activists have been kidnapped, and they were forced into this prison illegally, of course, because Palestine is occupied. All of Palestine is occupied. We do not. As a Palestinian, as a colonized person, I do not recognize any of this, because it's illegal to colonize and occupy other people's lands. So, and not just this problem. The issue is they did it in international waters, way outside Gaza's shores or occupied Palestine's shores. It was in international waters, and these military occupation forces, they act like with impunity that they own the sea, and they went in and barged their way into the boats, and they tried to ram their the boats right and left. They tried to rock the boats right and left, and they tried to fill the boats with water cannons. You can go to the Global Sumut Flotilla on their Instagram page, and you can see the videos and the evidence of what the occupation forces have been trying to do. They were trying to sink the boats with the activists inside. It was, of course, intimidation tactics from an occupying power. Also, the ones who have been supportive mostly was the Colombian government. They were the ones who contacted me, and they contacted us and supported us in these very difficult times. They offered help for Luna, for Manuela, as Colombian citizens, activists who were on a humanitarian mission in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, kidnapped by an occupying power. And I haven't seen any government in the world that has been so supportive in such a way as the Colombian government. We are grateful as Palestinian people, as colonized people, as the global South. We are very grateful for what the Colombian government and President Petro has done so far.
Bueno, pues él dice que los abogados están esperando para ir al sitio donde están los activistas secuestrados, dice él secuestrados porque fueron llevados a una cárcel de la Palestina ocupada, ilegalmente colonizada y ocupada. El problema es que esto se hizo en aguas internacionales, fuera de las aguas de Gaza, fuera de las aguas de Israel. Estas fuerzas militares actuando con total impunidad, como si fueran dueños del océano, llegaron en sus botes con cañones de agua, los atacaron. Hay evidencia de esto, está en las redes sociales. Trataron de hundir el bote con los activistas adentro y dice que el gobierno colombiano sí ya los llamó, que ofrecieron todo su apoyo para la liberación de Luna y Manuela, ciudadanas colombianas que estaban en una misión humanitaria y que están siendo secuestradas por el ejército israelí, que no ha visto a otro gobierno del mundo apoyando tanto la causa palestina como está apoyando el gobierno de Gustavo Petro y que están muy, muy agradecidos con el presidente Petro.
Darcy, por favor, ayúdeme para precisar hasta qué punto lo acompañó ella, él pudo acompañar a Luna en este viaje. ¿Por qué embarcó ella sola?
We wanted to ask you, why is Luna by herself on her own in this humanitarian trip? Why didn't you go, or how far did you go?
As for the Global Summit Flotilla, they had a very strict application. More than 26,000 applicants from all over the world, they applied. And there were like certain slots to be for people to join the flotilla. They chose the almost 500 activists who were fit for this mission, for this humanitarian mission. But one of the rules was that if you're a Palestinian, you cannot join, especially if you're a Palestinian without a Western or any other citizenship. And as for me, I don't have this. I'm a refugee. And if I was caught by the occupation forces, I would be tortured and I would be kept there maybe as a hostage. And who knows what might happen to me. So the organization decided that I cannot join, and no one can join if they are Palestinian without any Western or any other citizenship that can protect them. I don't have a president like Petro who can defend me. I don't have the government will not protect me if I was to be to join the flotilla. I will be kept there indefinitely. And there were many Palestinians. We are talking about hundreds of Palestinians who have been kept for more than 30 years now in Israeli concentration camps. We don't even call them prisons because they are not prisons. They are concentration camps of indigenous Palestinian people.
Bueno, ellos dicen que la misión tenía una política muy estricta, una aplicación a la cual accedieron más de 26,000 aplicantes. Ellos tenían unos filtros, escogieron 500 activistas que estaban preparados para esta misión, pero los palestinos no podían ir. Él dice que él es un refugiado y si lo atrapaban, pues lo torturarían, que quién sabe qué pasaría con él, que él no tiene un presidente que lo defienda o un gobierno que lo defienda como el gobierno de Colombia y que terminaría seguramente en uno de los campos de concentración de hace más de 30 años que operan en territorio israelí.
Bien, le voy a preguntar a nuestro invitado qué opina sobre la coyuntura más reciente, que es ese plan de paz entre el presidente Trump y el presidente Netanyahu. So, recently, in these days in the White House, President Trump signed a deal with the President Netanyahu, and we are waiting for the answer of Hamas. What do you think about this negotiation? Do you think that this could be the answer and the end to the conflict?
First of all, to call a genocide a conflict is a very misconception, and it's an injustice to call such a thing a conflict. I've been always an advocate for justice all over the world. A conflict, we can say about two kids at school having a problem over a snack or over a sandwich. They are having a conflict. But when you have an occupying power coming from overseas with impunity, with total power to overcome you and conquer your land and your resources and torture your people and kill you for not just for over 78 years since 1948. It actually began in 1907. 1907, they with the first Bar Goria and the Hashemite in 1909. Just 10 years before the Balfour Declaration, they began with these Zionist militias to terrorize us Palestinians. I know my grandfather was one of these victims. His lands were poisoned by these Zionist militias. They were supported by the British. They were supported by the Germans. They were supported by the European monarchies and by the European colonial regimes back then. Until this day, nothing changed until now. And now we can see that the United States, the sponsor of terrorism all over the world, and the sponsor of all of these problems and issues and genocides around the world. As a matter of fact, the United States has been responsible for more than 450 genocides around the world since 1760. And that's what they call, or if you go to Wikipedia, they will call it military interventions. They were genocides, 450 until this day. And it continues to support genocides, the United States. They keep supporting it one after other. For what? For what? For resources, for control. So when you ask me a question, what does the colonizer, Trump, the president of the United States, the colonial power of the United States, what do I think about this colonizer trying to subjugate me as a nation, as a Palestinian nation, as a colonized nation, and to offer like a piece of paper to surrender what's remaining, as if our martyrs, as if all of our people who died all over the years, they just don't mean anything. We are just a real estate for them. They just want to take our land and build Trump towers. That's what he said. They want to create the Dubai of the Mediterranean Sea. That's what they said. They see us as human animals. That's what they said. That's what Netanyahu said. That's what Trump said about us. It's what they keep saying about every indigenous people. You know it in Colombia. They call indigenous people in Colombia, in Chile, in Argentina, in Brazil, in Canada, in Australia, in New Zealand, in every settler colony. Everywhere, they call indigenous people the same thing. They call them savages. They call them terrorists. They call them all of these words as if we don't matter. Of course we matter. We are connected to the land. We are rooted in the land. All of us are rooted in the land. It is the colonizer who has lost this connection, this bond to the land.
Let me translate. Le dice a usted, Santiago, que llamar a un genocidio un conflicto, pues es no conocer usted el tema muy bien, que es una gran injusticia, porque un conflicto son dos niños en un colegio peleando por una chocolatina, pero que cuando se trata de alguien quitándole su tierra y torturando gente, pues eso es un genocidio que desde 1907 está pasando, que su abuelo le contó incluso cómo ha sido torturado el pueblo palestino desde comienzos del siglo pasado. Él dice que los ingleses, los alemanes, los europeos han soportado y han apoyado toda esta ocupación y que ahora Estados Unidos está patrocinando el terrorismo en el mundo, que son patrocinadores de un genocidio. Ellos siguen apoyando un genocidio por nuestros recursos. Y cuando usted me pregunta qué pienso de colonizadores como Trump que tratan de subyugarme, que ofrecen un papel a cambio de que nos rindiéramos como si nuestros mártires no significaran nada. Somos simplemente un pedazo de finca raíz, solo quieren nuestra tierra para hacer un Dubái, nos ven como animales humanos, como los indígenas llaman, son llamados en todo el mundo, como pasa en Colombia según él, y dice que aquí los indígenas son tratados como terroristas y como salvajes y en toda Latinoamérica.
Thank you very much for being with us. We deeply hope that the life of Laura Valentina would be respected, and we deeply hope that she can return safely to your home. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for answering our questions. Gracias, le digo al marido de Laura Valentina por haber estado con nosotros y le digo que esperamos que ella regrese a su hogar sana y salva. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you to the Colombian people, to the brave people of Colombia.
Él dice gracias y gracias a la gente de Colombia, a la gente valiente de Colombia.